Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. There's nothing in this cup. Anyway, I just want to introduce to you a brand new format known as Hasty Horse.
Wait! What is it? You can't make this video anymore.
Of course I can make this video. What are you talking about? Nothing's stopping me.
Listen, you don't understand. MBT already made a video on it.
What do you mean, MBT made a video on this already? I thought they made videos on Twitter freaks and spending all their time responding to Am I the Asshole Reddit threads.
So what are you gonna do?
Well, now I feel like I'm obligated to create this video. I think creating a discussion of some kind, would be beneficial to the format.
Right. You're right.
Cue the intro card. It's time to explain Yu-Gi-Oh's Hasty Horse format. I want to begin with the origin of how this format came to be. For every Hasty Horse, there is a forgetful fish. DanDan is a Magic the Gathering format involving an 80-card deck with a shared graveyard. It basically only revolves around one creature, named DanDan. The card is so notoriously bad, it would have to belong in its own format in order for it to see play. Yet, even with these terrible qualities, the gameplay it involves is very rewarding. I am certainly not going to take credit for coining Hasty Horse. However, I do want to perfect the concept. MPT touched on some minor flaws with the format I want to attempt to fix and lay a foundation for development in the future. I'll leave a link down below for MPT's video because he does quite explain things very, very well. In the meantime, let's just lay down some ground rules for my version of Hasty Horse. First of all, no counter traps. Literally, DanDan encourages massive, complex interactions and galaxy brain plays. I've tried Broken Line, Dark Bribe, Wiretap, Retort, all of which are great concepts on paper, but I found mostly stopping interaction completely is just plain unfun. There is a world where you can make Hasty Horse play with these counter traps, but I haven't been convinced otherwise. The second rule is players only take battle damage. What do I mean by this? Well, if you pay life points, if you take damage by a card effect, it doesn't matter. You'll be able to activate those effects free of charge. You must attack with Hasty Horse and reduce your opponent's life points to 0 to win. This rule was added because it opens the card pool, completely breaks open the format. Cards like Archfiend's Oath would randomly become useless as the gameplay progresses. Once again, these rules have been added to make the format a little bit more interesting and enjoyable. Similar to how I felt when I was playing DanDan. You don't necessarily have to follow them. Now that we've established these rules, let's talk deck lists. Whoa, 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 whoa! Hold your hasty horses! You think I'm going to show you a list just before I have the chance to explain the cards? Do you even know how the YouTube algorithm works? Greedy sons of... I'm going to break down the deck into 7 categories, all of which will be shown here. Once you get past 5 and into 6 and 7, we'll explain it when we get there. But it drastically changes from a standard list. I think it's fair to assume, just like DanDan, there is an 80-card deck. Let's go ahead and read the card. Red-haired Hasty Horse, a level 5 Wind Beast monster with 2,000 attack and 1,800 defense. If there is a column with no cards, you can special summon this card from the hand. This is an inherent summon, and it has to be in attack position. You can only special summon it once per turn this way. If another card is placed in this card's column, you destroy the Hasty Horse. And once per turn, you can half its original attack for the rest of the turn, and if you do, it can attack directly. It's not very relevant, but it is part of the effect. I'm not about to read every card's effects, but I feel like it's appropriate to give this expeditious equine a proper intro. You can assume that all other cards moving forward are going to be full playsets, 3 of each. Second category, stacking the deck. Spellbook Organization and Fruits of Kuzaki Studies are cards that manipulate the top of the deck. And I'm including Phoenix Wing Windblast into this section, just because it's a great comparison to what Memory Lapse is for DanDan. Being able to put a card on the top of the deck is appropriate, but you might be noticing I'm still only running 3 copies, and not the 6 to 8 that other people are. As much as we can draw similarities between these two cards, I can't see Wingblast being the card that defines the Hasty Horse format as Memory Lapse does to DanDan, for reasons you'll soon discover. Section 3, Advantage. The third category is Advantage Spell Traps. Pot of Duality excavates the top 3, and the user picks one of them to place into their hand, the rest get shuffled back, and the caveat is they can't special summon Hasty Horse for that turn. Jar of Greed simply draws a card. And there's Good Goblin Housekeeping, which acts as accumulated knowledge, drawing new cards, sculpting your hand, when more copies end up in the graveyard. Archfiend's Oath is a unique card to this format, and deserves a brief explanation. The controller declares the top card of the deck, and if called correctly, it gets added to the hand. Otherwise, it's sent to the graveyard. Joseph explained this perfectly. The amount of skill necessary to execute this card is so high, generally determines the outcome of the game if done properly. It combos with stacking, and conveniently blocks a zone, but be warned, the Oath has a clause, protecting the Hasty Horse that returns to the field. Category 4, Removal. One of the many realizations you find out playing this format is that every spell trap is removal, as long as it can be placed in a column under a Hasty Horse. Dust Tornado and Terrors of the Overroots are designed to set cards during either player's turn and contest the horse, and Jelly Cannon shuffles attacking horses back into the deck to be drawn again. Double Cyclone is added back row destruction to pave the way and open zones for your speedy steed. I definitely like to congratulate you, you got this far. And now I get to explain the categories that you start to see a little bit of change. Section 5 is interesting, to say the least. The cards are very much all unclassified. It's hard to determine exactly where each card belongs, because they all just do different things. For instance, Interdimensional Matter Transporter and Viventail both are ways to evade threats, to keep your Hasty Horse alive, temporarily banishing it or returning it to the hand. There is also the Deep Grave, which revives fallen horses, and Pharaoh's Treasure, to retrieve lost resources. I know you paused the video to read the card because it's old as shit. Zero Gravity changes the battle positions of all monsters on the field. And Exchange works as a counter when a card is returned to your opponent's hand. Section 6, Shufflers. The penultimate category includes just 2 copies of Jar of Avarice. A game should not last forever, and I'd be damned if I include the Transmigration Prophecy. Deck out should be a legitimate strategy, especially for a format like this one. Category number 7, the Multifaceted. This final category, I'm not sure how this format would actually turn out if these cards were not released. Dracotail, Horn, Flame, and Sting all provide relevant effects and fit perfectly into this format. Horn returns an attack position monster to the hand. Flame negates a spell card. And Sting banishes a card from the graveyard. And the cherry on top, they all recycle themselves, drawing you cards and giving additional depth to the format. You'll never feel like you lost resources after a large chain link. They are a must-have in every Hasty Horse deck, in my opinion. I cannot say enough about these cards. I feel like I have to reiterate, but the following cards are only possible because neither player takes damage or pays life to activate cards. If this is something that you want to exclude from your Hasty Horse decks, honestly, it is a casual format for a reason. Use this as an opportunity to sculpt what you want in your decks. Grave Robber targets a spell in the graveyard and allows you to play it from the hand. Just make sure it's your turn. This card is so atrociously worded, I can only assume normal game mechanics don't let you play cards from the hand during your opponent's turn. So at the end of the day, it's a fun inclusion, but it's whatever. And what better way to wrap up with a special guest, Joshua Schmidt?
What do you mean you couldn't get Josh with us? I don't know. I can't believe he's willing to make time to spin a wheel, but can't make a little effort to explain his favorite card. Damn it.
The card's transaction rollback. I believe this card is what defines the format. It provides so much because it copies trap card effects, one time on field and another when you banish it from the graveyard. There are so many traps in this deck. It stacks, it draws, it disrupts in all the right ways. Seriously, I did not think I was going to make this long of a video, but I just wanted to show my passion for this specific format. All my friends, all the people that helped me build the deck, and to perfect it the way that I wanted to. There's just so much that I want to share. If you decide you like the video, please share it on the way out. Oh, and if you want me to make more videos like this, you know, explaining Hasty Horse or, you know, the reasons why I didn't include Time Seal or Mind Crush, and maybe developing the format a little bit, we can create a small little discussion. Express it in the comments. This is Aether, signing out. Peace.